Every night while you sleep, your body runs a test on your heart. It is free. It happens whether you ask for it or not. And by the time most men notice the result, they have already missed 3 to 5 years of warning. Cardiologists have known about this signal for decades. Almost nobody is taught to read it. So let me show you what it is, what it actually means, and the 4 other free tests your body runs every single morning that you can start reading tomorrow. I am Mark, a health educator, not your doctor, so nothing here is a diagnosis. Think of me as the guy who teaches you to read the gauges. So what is the test? Every night, during certain stages of sleep, a healthy man's body produces several natural erections. Doctors have a name for it, nocturnal penile tumescence, or NPT. And I want to be clear from the first sentence, because this is where most channels get weird. This is not about sex. It is a nightly stress test of your blood vessels and your nerves. An erection is mechanically a vascular event. It runs on endothelial function and nitric oxide, the very same lining and the very same signal that keep the arteries around your heart open and relaxed. So every night, without you asking, your body pressure tests the smallest arteries you have, and it reports back in the morning. Here's why that is such a good early warning. Cardiologists call it the artery-size hypothesis. The arteries that fill the penis are small, roughly 1 to 2 millimeters across. The arteries that feed your heart are bigger, 3 to 4 millimeters. When the same endothelial trouble starts, it narrows the small pipe before the wide one. So the identical process that might one day matter in a coronary artery tend to show up first somewhere smaller and quieter. And this is not a fringe idea. In mainstream cardiology, erectile difficulty is considered an independent risk marker for cardiovascular disease. Independent means it carries its own weight, on top of the usual suspects like blood pressure and cholesterol. And the timing is the striking part. In the research, that vascular signal often appears around 3 to 5 years before a cardiac event. 3 to 5 years of runway. The warning arrives early, and it arrives in a place a lot of men are too embarrassed to mention to anyone, which is exactly why it gets missed. Now, the honest part, and this is the whole brand, so stay with me. One quiet morning is not a diagnosis. Stress, a bad night's sleep, a few drinks, a new medication, all of it shows up here too. What matters is not one morning. It is the direction over weeks. And that is the whole problem. Nobody writes it down, so nobody sees the direction. So let me give you the whole dashboard, because the nightly test is only the first of 5, and the other 4 you can read the moment you wake up. Test 1 is the one we just covered, the nightly vascular test, your NPT. Think of it as the overnight report on your smallest arteries. Test 2 is your morning resting heart rate, taken before you get out of bed. It is one of the cleanest windows into how hard your heart is working at rest. A resting rate that quietly drifts up over weeks is worth noticing. Test 3 is your fasting glucose. That first thing number is really an overnight metabolic test, the result of everything your body did with your fuel while you slept. And it is the same lining, the endothelium, that high glucose slowly wears down. Test 4 is your morning blood pressure. It is the load your arteries wake up to, the pressure they're already carrying before the day has even started. Test 5 is the slow one, your weight and your waist trend. Not the daily number, the direction over months. Your body runs all 5 for free every single day. The catch is simple, and it is the reason none of this usually helps you. Your body never saves the results. That is the problem I could not let go of. These signals were living in my head, a vague sense that something had changed with nothing to check it against. So I built a small, calm place to log the ones you actually can measure at home. Your glucose, your blood pressure, your weight, and your medications, all on one line. So for the first time, you can see the direction instead of guessing at it. No rederos, no panique. Just your own trend and a clean export you can hand your doctor that says more in one page than a year of trying to remember. It is free, and you do not need an account just to look. Go to steadyrange.com/YT. That is /YT. Or just say it out loud to your phone. So here's where I will leave you. If your mornings have quietly changed and stayed changed over weeks, that is not a thing to be embarrassed about. It is a reason to talk to your doctor early, while it is still just a signal and not an event. That is the entire point of reading the gauges. Early is the best place to be standing. And a quick reminder, because you have earned the honesty. I am Mark, a health educator, not your physician. This is general education, not medical advice, and nothing here diagnoses anything. A persistent change is a reason to see your doctor, not a reason to panic. If this made your own body a little more readable, subscribe, because this is a whole series about reading the signals you're already generating. Next episode, I will show you the 5-minute morning version of all of this, the tests you could do standing in your own bathroom, and the time it takes your coffee to brew. I will see you there.